How you doing, guys? Happy Friday. And it
Hey,
is
how you
that
doing?
time again.
Hello.
We got Mr. Edward van der Kleijn, Chief Happiness Officer here at Blam. And we've got David Rahman, the Mind Coach.
I could be
How
happy
you doing,
to.
guys?
Good,
How's the
thanks. How are
week
you?
Super excited, energized.
Fantastic.
Bring on July.
July.
Yes,
July.
we are.
it.
And the
We are
sound of
good.
those birds in your garden, Ed, is making us all feel very summery.
It is summery. Actually, just a quick look. This is my wife's good work. If you look at these beautiful roses here, this is what it's all about.
Wow. Look at that. Ooh, look at that.
Wow,
Gorgeous.
look at that.
Wow.
And look at this Look at this beast. It's a monster, that is.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. We love the roses in the
That's
garden.
what summer's all about, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, it smells gorgeous, and it's just such a beautiful place to. I've got a beautiful green in front of my house as well.
That.
That's lovely. Wow.
Yeah. It's the main reason we stayed here is because it's actually in the middle of Worcester. We've got nature all around us. 5-minute
And it
walk
makes
into
you feel
town.
good.
It is good, and I'm really excited about this session. I will be listening in the background as I'm sort of rounding some more people up, but we're talking about grit and determination and the power of grit and determination, especially when life's a little bit against you, you know, and it's the power of action, because action cures fear.
Yes.
And you know, that's really cool, you know, especially, you know, for us in sales. Yeah, sometimes you can have a bit of a bad month, and then it's quite easy to sort of get a little bit worried and anxious, and you go, "Oh my God," you know. But if you just, it's good to have a pity party, isn't it? It's always good to acknowledge, you know. Sometimes you can have a bit of a pity party, just maybe have a duvet day, you know, or go for a walk. Yeah, just reflect, you know, be grateful. Your giant thing, by the way, I do it every morning now. So since the Brutal Business Bootcamp, I go for a walk, I do the giant thing, and it sets you up for the day. So if you want to talk about that as well. So if you want to mute me, put me in the background, I'm listening. So enjoy the session, guys, and we'll see you at the end.
Love the shirt, Ed. Love it.
Yeah, we're feeling all pink and lovely today.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's a good color.
Nice one. See you in a bit, Ed. Cheers, buddy. So grit and determination. This one is it's a good subject, isn't it, for business owners? Because if you haven't got grit and determination, you may as well give up now, guys. That is the truth. Yeah. Because if there's one thing you need to be successful in business, is determination, and as it says in the header, you know, when the chips are down, because the chips are going to be down. They are. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I've no doubt, David, you've got an awesome metaphor for this.
We talk about giant or?
No, sorry, I'm talking about the subject. So the subject today is grit and determination.
Yes.
Ed obviously mentioned giant based on he finds that giant, which is in fact, for those of you that haven't seen the business boot camp, do you want to explain what giant is? Because Ed finds that that's what keeps him, you know, energized and determined, and keeps his determination going.
Yeah. I mean, every day we wake up and you know, for all those solopreneurs out there, or those entrepreneurs, you wake up and you're going to have, some days you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel totally pumped, you know, and that could be on a Thursday or Friday. You're feeling totally pumped. It's the end of the week. But on a Monday, you might be feeling, you know, and, you know, it's like your business is like it's like your child, and it needs your attention. Okay. So every day you wake up and we have this mindset. And one thing I've used for myself, I'm on myself now, is it? One thing I've used for myself is the acronym GIANT, and I put together this acronym because I wanted to keep myself focused and on track, and use elements of personal development, which I think would be good for me and the business, but I think it would be good for you as well. So whether you use or not, that's up to you. But it's called Giant, Giant, and it's quite simple. And you can do this when you're running in the morning, or when you're making your breakfast, or in the shower. And G stands for gratitude. So I won't go over that. There are many ways of showing gratitude. And I stands for intention. So what's your intentions for the day? So your intentions could be, I'm gonna make 10 sales calls, for example, or I'm gonna get hold of those 3 people I've just been avoiding recently. So what are your intentions? So that's like a business intention. The other intentions could be, I'm gonna drink more water today. So it just keeps you focused. It really does. This works, by the way. So what's my intention for the day? Actions. So actions is built on top of that. So what actions do I need to take to move me towards my bigger goal? What actions? So it could be it's Monday and I need to slap on the wall 3 post-it notes to remind me of something I've got to do this afternoon. So that's your actions. Or it could be, I need to eat less sugar today because I've been feeling like SHIT all weekend. So what actions? So it keeps you on track. And N then stands for, what am I no longer going to put up with? Or what? I use it for thinking. So I say, I'm no longer going to put up with overthinking, people thinking, which is thinking of other people, what they think, or faulty thinking, which is blaming, complaining, judging, criticizing, or worrying what other people think. And that sort of thing, when I do that, it clears the mind. And then T is for trust. I trust there's something bigger than me out there looking after me, or I'm going to track my progress. I'm going to track it. So that's Giant, and it really works. And I'm not saying that because it came to me while I was running one day, and it works. So, and I think, well, to have a great life, to have a giant life, to have giant success. And success for some people could be a balanced life with your wife and kids, and you own a little B&B by the sea. Fine, whatever it is. What does success look for you? So I'm glad Ed brought that up, because I think I know it works, and I'd love everyone to at least try it for 3 months and see what happens.
To make it a habit.
Make it a habit, yeah.
Make it a habit, yeah. And I think the morning routine and the bringing Giant into the morning routine is a great way of keeping that mindset. You've got to get off to a good start in the morning, haven't you? Because
yeah,
it's like they always say, if you wake up in the morning, and you get out of bed and you stub your toe and you say, "Oh, I got out of bed the wrong side," the rest of the day is going to carry on like that. If that's what you believe, if that's what you affirm that first thing in the morning. Whereas, if you wake up with the intention of actually going through a routine like you've just described, chances are you'll never stub your toe in the first place.
Yeah. Yes. And it's because we attract into our life. There's so much physics around this now that you're attracting to your life pretty much what you're putting out there, the energy. And quantum physics has shown us that you're attracting good stuff and bad stuff by what you're putting out there, and by what you're constantly putting out there. So if anybody out there is feeling negative, or feeling like you don't have the grit, you don't have the determination, and you're feeling you've got too many flat days, then grit is defined as being perseverant, even when times when you feel like giving up, times when you're full of racked with self-doubt. Grit is showing your 2 fingers up to doubt and fear and worry, saying, nope, you're not going to get the better of me. I haven't had a good day, but I will continue. I will continue, because if you read any autobiography of a successful person, they've been through a lot.
Yeah, and that is so true. And quite often I find, people that find success at a young age have already been through a lot as a young person, in order to, build those that resilience to be able to then, conquer anything. And sometimes I think there's a thing, isn't there, that they say about entrepreneurs, is that you've got to keep being uncomfortable. You've got to keep being uncomfortable every day, because your comfort zone, you don't grow, you don't learn, and you stagnate.
No.
And that is, if you are making a point of putting yourself through discomfort every day, you're going to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that builds your grit. That builds, because things start to phase you less when you're used to conquering things and being uncomfortable and become uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because there's certain things that never leave us, So for example, the fear of cold calling, which is something that we always talk about at Blam, because it's such a fantastic metaphor for the way that we have got something that's really quite simple, but it's very difficult for people to do. And I'm talking from personal experience here. Picking up the phone and speaking to strangers, is the simplest task in principle physically to do. And yet people find it so difficult and so difficult to persevere with it. But when you can conquer that task, that extreme discomfort that you see for cold calling, and you actually, face it, doesn't mean the fear necessarily goes away. It's just you learn to conquer it. And that's why I'm such a massive advocate for cold calling, not necessarily because it's the only way to build a business. It definitely isn't the only way to build a business. But my God, it will build your business muscles thoroughly and so much better than if you buy the leads in. And that helps you in so many other areas. And that's why, a lot of people, particularly prospects that we get coming to be Blam partners, they question, why would we do cold calling? You run a digital marketing agency, we generate the leads online. Well, we do it because we want you to become an entrepreneur. We want you to become successful. And to be successful, you've got to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And for a lot of people, cold calling is one of the ultimate discomforts.
Coming out of your comfort zone, it's I always look at comfort zone as like your castle where you live comfortably, and sometimes you want to come out to that castle and have a look around, and then you go back in, and as Grant says, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is like, I think the first thing is, everyone out there, just follow your, they call it dharma or purpose, but follow what you really, really love in life. So whatever business you're in, hopefully you love it, and that's going to get you up in the morning. And then decide, okay, because it's never personal. If somebody rejects you on the call, it's not because they don't like you. It could be a million things. But if you play the numbers game, somebody will say yes and want to listen to you, and eventually you'll think, well, there are thousands of customers up there, thousands, but they're not mind readers. So because they're not mind readers, you've got to reach them and just say, this is what you do. I get rejected all the time. God, all the time. Which is, telling people.
Thanks, David. We'll move on now, mate.
and you just gotta you put, this is your service you're doing, this is what I do, this is, and then people say, they say nothing, or they say no thanks. It's not a problem. But what the greatest thing you can do for your business is like looking at it as, it's, if you make it weatherproof, which is, you put your umbrella up there and rejection rains down or fear rains down, that's fine. It's okay. All grit is about is you're gonna have rainy days, and you're gonna have days where you feel it hasn't gone your way. That's all right. And as what's his name? Not Grant Cardone. T. Harv Eker says, tomorrow I can always make a comeback. I love that.
I think what's really important for me, and when I'm talking to entrepreneurs and people who are new to business, I'm always very brutal about them understanding that these things about self-doubt, about feeling like you're not going to make it, questioning whether or not you think you've done the right thing in starting your own business. All of these things happens to all of us, even the super successful people. There will be moments, I guarantee, in business where you question yourself and the whole thing that you are doing. It's part of the journey. What is important for me to help you guys understand, and this is where David is, the expert, is that it's our responsibility to find the tools that help us in those moments, because it's very rare that it's going to come just from you. It's a rarity if or rather, you're a very special individual if you can do it all on your own and power through those moments. There are so many tools out there for entrepreneurs like us to help us, to give us the strength, to give us the grit, so that when we hit those moments, we've got the tools by using our knowledge and our intellect to apply those tools, such as Giant, and to take responsibility for us picking ourselves up and taking us to the next level, as well as reaching out to others. And that's kind of what you do, isn't it, David? That's kind of, you are one of those tools.
Yeah,
I've often called you a tool.
Oh. It comes out with some curveballs at times. One of my friends said to me the other day, we were out somewhere, and he said, David just sets you up. He just sets you up to take the piss. Honestly, I don't mind. What I was going to suggest to everyone out there is, I don't have it here. If you get this A4, I think I might have mentioned before, A4 paper, and put it on your wall and put down your goals. Just remind yourself out there on the days where you think, why am I doing this? Put down your goals and put down what you really are standing for. What's that question? Some of my current most difficult clients to convert are those in David's industry. Mindset help. They reached out by strong recommendations. However, the questions seem unending. I don't understand.
That's from Cindy. So Cindy's a Blam partner. She's asking is, she finds it difficult to convert people in your industry, in the coaching industry. They've reached out via strong recommendations. However, their questions are unending. So that one, Cindy, is a sales question, because David's in that industry already. If Cindy reached out to you, David, how she's asking, how can she close you? How can she sell you a website? Oh, have you frozen? I think we've lost him, or you might have lost me. Could be one or the other. Are we back? Oh, I think that might have been my internet connection then. I think I might have frozen. Or is it David's? I'm going to assume it's David's. Could be me. So I may be talking to nobody. Cindy, that's a sales question. That's one for me and Ed to deal with. The key is here is it should be you asking them the questions first and foremost. And then if they're coming back to you with questions, it should be in relation to the questions that you've asked them. Our process is very much about making sure that we've got the information that can provide us with the ability to be able to present our products and services in such a way that our client has the information to make an informed decision. I think David's lost his internet connection, so I'm sure he'll be back very shortly. So yeah, that one is more of a sales question, Cindy, but really appreciate your question. I'm happy to go into more detail on that. And David is back. Here he is.
Can't get the internet these days.
Yeah, it's just dropped out, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What tips can you give us to overcome their fear to buy?
Right.
Again, that's another sales question. I mean, you can have a go if you like, David, or we can.
Can you 1 second? My charger.
All right, no worries.
What tips can you give? To be honest, do you say Cindy?
Cindy, yeah, Cindy.
To be honest, it would be. It depends on what strategy you're using to get them to buy, in terms of the coaching industry, because a lot of coaches, and what are you selling for them to buy? I don't understand.
She said she would sell websites and marketing services to people like you.
Okay, so it would really depend on for them. What are the benefits? What are you offering them? And what are your success stories to convince them that they need you, and how is it going to help them get more clients? Because I suppose at the end of the day, they want more clients. That's what they want. But that's another story. If Cindy, I mean, if she wants to jump onto a Zoom at some point, we can all, can discuss this further.
Yeah,
just to know what you're doing.
It's a sales question that she's asking, and Cindy, coaches are people like everybody else, and the process that we employ, the sales process that we employ, it applies regardless of what industry they're in.
Right.
The way that you adapt is because of the questions you ask, rather than the questions they ask you. So it's really important that you understand their business, so that then you can emphasize the areas of your services that can serve them, and go in with an open mind. Because if in their mind the requirements that they have aren't a good fit with your products and services, and the questions that they're asking, they could be disqualifying themselves as one of your clients if the questions they are asking are inappropriate for the services that you offer. So remember, we always talk about staying behind the pendulum. We always talk about, right, you're going in there to be a consultant. Your job is to find out about their business, about their wants, their needs, their desires, what their pain is, and then seeing if you have a solution to fix it. And if after you've done that presentation, you've been transparent and honest and showed them what we've got, it's not for them, that's okay. That is okay. Because you stay behind the pendulum. Don't be needy. You're a consultant. Okay, you take that consultative approach. Our products are absolutely freaking awesome. And if you do a good enough job of presenting them, if there's a good fit, they'll buy from you. Might not buy right there and then, but they'll buy from you at some point. And so that's where the work goes in. It goes into questioning techniques. It goes into understanding what they want and need, where their pain is, and seeing if you can apply solve their problem. Can you solve their problem? So awesome. We've got a couple of others. So I think we've got a book recommendation. Listen to Grit, Angela Duckworth on Audible. That might be interesting. I've not done that one, I must admit.
That's a good one.
So Sarah said, I worry about people thinking I'm rubbish so much it stops me taking action. This has been a lifelong lack of confidence. How do I change this to have more confidence in my business? Over to you, buddy. Sarah, by the way, she's a Blam partner. She's an absolute legend. I love Sarah so much because she puts herself outside her comfort zone. She swims she in the Bristol Channel.
Wow.
In the winter and all sorts. So she's she's a legend.
Well done, Sarah. Great question, Sarah. So you have a fear. So clearly you're saying you have a fear of fear of not being good enough in front of people. So even if you address that fear, really, so I'm all for going back to the root cause. I hate it when people think about, what's the quickest tip or tactic to overcome, because we're talking about something that's deep rooted here. So I used to have a fear of people thinking that I was rubbish so much, so it stops me taking. Exactly the same thing. And a lot of people have that, where you have this fear of not being enough, which means that inside, if you work backwards subconsciously, you think that you're not enough, and that's where it comes from. And what happens then? We start worrying what other people think, and then when we do that, we don't take any action. So the first thing you've got to think about is, what are you currently thinking that's true, that's not true? What lie are you telling yourself? And I used to think about that I wasn't good enough because I didn't get into medical school first time. So when I did my A-levels, my A-levels weren't great back in the 1980s, and I resat, and I did. I ended up going to do a science, biochemistry. My father, he didn't used to say it, but they looked at me as a failure. And they looked at me as, my parents looked at me as not good enough. And that was when my confidence just went like that. And when I did finish biochemistry, I did apply for medicine, and I got in. But I then decided I didn't want to do medicine. So in the end, I did get the offer for medicine, but I didn't want to do it in the end. It wasn't me. So you've got to look back at what do you currently believe in that's not true. This is definitely mindset, emotional stuff. Where what can you let go of that's hurting you inside? Because at the end of the day, there's that power statement. Everyone is on their own journey, which is, to be honest, Sarah, people actually are not even, what can I say? They're too concerned with their own stuff to be worried about you. And how I got over it was I realized that everyone is on their own journey. I'm going to make loads of mistakes and continue to do so every day. We all make mistakes. But the great thing is, if you're not making mistakes, you're not taking any action. And Sarah, just keep putting yourself out there. Keep making mistakes. It's fine, because it sounds like you're a winner. And the fact that you've come on this call to
ask the question,
to actually ask the question and bare your soul, I can honor that. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing.
That is awesome courage, and it within the context of grit and determination, you don't need yourself to beat yourself. Yeah, there's enough going on in the world that you have to battle against. So, give yourself a break. In Sarah's case, she's a great mum. She's a business owner. She's successful in her own right. And you just got to remind yourself on a daily basis, even if they're little successes, because sometimes it's like it can be overwhelming because you're not achieving the big goals. You got to remind yourself of the little goals. It was actually John Richardson who posted an Instagram post today that actually reminded me of the topic today. A boxer is only defeated, when he refuses to go up. It's not when he gets knocked down. When he can't get up anymore, then the game's over. Then you've lost. But if you keep getting up, because life's going to beat you. You're gonna get smashed up a bit from time to time, and that's okay. But if you keep getting up and keep going out there, then that's what true grit is.
Absolutely.
Cool. I've got a call at the top of the hour, so I'm going to say goodbye and need you guys sort of finish up. Thanks for an awesome session. Thank you guys for your contributions and comments. Watch it on the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and see us in 2 weeks with David Rahman on the next session.
Cheers, Ed.
See you, Ed. Before we go, I just wanted to just give something to Sarah. Something that she can use. Sarah, if you just, this is a good exercise perhaps you can do. Look back at the last 5 years of your life and spend about an hour or two on this and write down what you've achieved, your wins as a mum, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Just write down this list, if you can, chronologically. So go spend some time with yourself and have a look at this list. And I promise you, it's going to feel amazing. When you've done that, you're going to look at it and you're going to think, well, actually, I'm quite good. Actually, I've done well. So give it a try. Give that a try and see what how it feels like.
David, I think it was one of your sayings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I heard this, it really stuck with me, and hopefully this might help Sarah. It's what other people think of you is none of your business. Yeah. Was that you, was it?
I put it out there. Nothing's original, mate. We all hear stuff.
But it was you that told it to me, and that keeps coming up with me. Or I was speaking to my wife a couple of mornings ago. We were having our walk, and that phrase came to mind for both of us. And I think Sarah, you should think about that one a bit, because it really helps me. What other people think of you is none of your business. It's none of your business.
Yes.
I love that.
It's and listen, Sarah, on the last hour of the last day of your life, you ain't gonna be wondering what other people are thinking of you. You're on that journey, so just go for it, and you'll be fine. Just a shout thrown the deep end. Awesome.
There you go. Comfort zone smashed. Brilliant. All right, guys. Well, David, that was awesome. Really enjoyed that session, mate.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. And have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Yes.
And come on, England.
All right, I'll be watching it. Come on, Grealish. Is Grealish your man?
Yeah, he's a probably, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Grealish. He's a great player. I'm loving the football. Everyone out there, please enjoy your weekend, and see you next 2 weeks' time.
Brilliant. Thanks, David. Thanks all. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.